Extremely luxurious $50 million villas all the way to a player who bought his entire neighborhood. We show you the incredible estates of football stars and reveal their astonishing family backgrounds, from poverty to dazzling wealth. Let's start with Sergio Ramos, who doesn't hold back when it comes to finding a home for his family. In an interview, the defender once said that his family did everything they could to hide their financial struggles from him. He grew up in an apartment block in Camas, a district near Sevilla, where his football career began. Now the Spanish defender owns a villa in Madrid worth over £6.5 million. He had the original house on the property torn down and built his dream villa from scratch. Thanks to social media posts from Ramos and his wife, Pilar Rubio, we get a glimpse inside their home. The interior is carefully designed with glossy white floors. The cinema room is colourful, featuring a giant blue sofa. Everything in this house is huge. It's so spacious that Ramos can even do his running workouts without leaving the property. Speaking of training, no athlete's home is complete without a gym. Depending on the weather, Ramos lifts weights both indoors and outside. The pool area is also impressive, featuring smaller pools for his kids and surrounded by palm trees. No wonder his wife and her friends spend a lot of time there. It looks more like a luxury spa than a regular home. The property is over 1,000 square meters and includes a jacuzzi, a sauna, and a tennis court. The house is in an extremely exclusive neighborhood. According to reports, Ramos spent an additional $13 million on renovations after buying the villa. Crazy, right? But crazy is the perfect word to describe Wayne Rooney's new mansion. At 14, the star striker almost followed in his father's footsteps as a professional boxer. Why? His coach at Everton's youth team played him as a defender instead of a forward. Luckily, he stuck with football, and the rest is history. Rooney owns a stunning mansion in Cheshire. The £20 million property has all the luxuries you can imagine: 16 bedrooms, 13 bathrooms, and even a private bowling alley, making it feel more like a five-star hotel than a family home. For anyone who loves luxury, this house is a dream. It showcases the incredible wealth of the Rooney family. But let's go back to his childhood. Wayne Rooney grew up in Croxteth, a tough working-class neighbourhood in the east of Liverpool. His early life was far from luxurious. He lived there with his parents in a small house. Manchester United star Marcus Rashford also had difficult times. As a child, he lived in this house with his single mother, who had to provide for 4 other children. There were days when he went hungry. In his hometown of Wythenshawe near Manchester, he attended a school where children received free meals. Today, he gives back by providing free meals to children in need, like himself in the past, so he has more than earned his £2.5 million villa. Rashford now has everything he needs. Like Wayne Rooney, he found his dream home in Cheshire. He mainly uses his home gym during pre-season training or for light workouts when recovering from injuries. Since he first moved in with his family, his mother made most of the design decisions. His fridge is full of unhealthy soft drinks, but according to Rashford, they belong to his friends. Is that really true? In his cozy living room, he likes to relax by watching documentaries. Outside on the terrace, he has a basketball hoop where he occasionally plays with his friends. Even off the pitch, he stays active. One player who is no longer active but still owns an amazing house is Arsenal legend Thierry Henry. As a child, he grew up in Les Ulis, a suburb of Paris often described as a ghetto. His parents separated when he was 7, but his father was always there to take him to training and games. The neighborhood was full of gangs, drugs, and violence. However, Henry says that if people saw you had a special talent, like being good at football, they would leave you alone. While still playing for Arsenal, Henry bought a villa in Hampstead, North London for $10 million. Later, when he played for the New York Red Bulls, he bought the top 2 floors of a Soho building for $15 million. Rumour has it, he even expanded it into the floor below. His 520 square metre apartment has floor-to-ceiling windows, an open kitchen and a bamboo garden. Henry's love for luxury was clear when he planned to install a 4-storey aquarium in his Hampstead villa. However, after discussing it with his family, the idea was rejected. You can imagine how disappointed he was. Well, at least he subscribed to our channel to cheer himself up. And guess what? You can subscribe too. Alright guys, I know, enough begging. Let's continue. Next up, Robert Lewandowski, a player who thinks ahead and plans for life after football. Born into a family of athletes, his father was a judoka and his mother was a professional volleyball player. Robert grew up in Leszno near Warsaw. He lived there with his parents and his sister in a small house. Even though both of his parents were athletes, Robert was often rejected by top clubs in Poland because of his slim build and short height. But he never gave up and finally made his breakthrough at Lech Poznan. Wearing a Borussia Dortmund jersey and later playing for Bayern Munich, he scored tons of goals. Now the Polish striker plays for FC Barcelona, earning over $20 million per year. His properties and land are estimated to be worth $17 million. Lewandowski is a proud Polish citizen and invests almost all his money in real estate in his home country. His summer retreat is located in his wife Anna's hometown, Stanisława, in northern Poland. It's a lakeside property with a private dock and lots of privacy. The estate includes a tennis court, a guest house for lucky visitors, and a pavilion that's part of the entertainment area. There's also a jacuzzi, a barbecue area, a fire pit, and an outdoor entertainment system. The garden has freshly laid grass, providing plenty of space for walks or training sessions. There's no swimming pool, but the lake is just a few steps away. In 2016, Lewandowski paid $7 million for a penthouse in his hometown of Warsaw, inside the famous Schlotter 44 building designed by Polish-American architect Daniel Lubicki. The apartment features a golf simulator, a private cinema, and a wine-tasting room. Visitors enter through a simple-looking entrance, but once inside they step into a spacious living area filled with extravagant furniture. The living room has floor-to-ceiling windows, offering breathtaking views of Warsaw. The bedroom looks fit for a king. It also has floor-to-ceiling windows, a seating area with a fireplace, and a massive flat-screen TV. A walk-in closet completes the luxurious suite. Schlotter 44 offers a fitness center where Lewandowski can train. There's a 25-meter swimming pool, a sauna, massage rooms, and another private cinema. This guy definitely knows how to live in style. But we can't talk about spending millions without mentioning Neymar. The Brazilian star grew up in a rundown apartment in Mogi das Cruzes, his hometown. Along with Arsenal's Gabriel Jesus, he lived in the favelas in poverty, dreaming every day of becoming a professional footballer. Now Neymar owns homes in Paris, Los Angeles, and multiple properties in Brazil. In 2020, he earned $95 million. He bought a $10 million house big enough for a helicopter to land on its grounds. This guy lives like he's in a movie, and that's no joke. The film The Expendables was actually filmed in his house. That's not surprising considering he lives in the Beverly Hills of Rio de Janeiro. Neymar's home is in a gated community in Portobello, a district of Rio. It has 6 bedrooms with massive windows and a TV that drops down from the ceiling. There's also a wine cellar with over 3,000 bottles and a gym so large that an entire team could train there. On top of that, there's a jacuzzi room right next to the sauna, as well as a luxury spa. The house even has a floating staircase leading upstairs and is connected to the living room, which features a cozy couch, perfect for a relaxing evening with friends. But things never get boring here. Neymar also has a pool table and a gaming room where he plays FIFA or watches football. But the real craziness happens outside. He doesn't just have a tennis court, but also a beach volleyball field, because of course he's Brazilian, and a massive swimming pool. No wonder his friends and teammates love coming over to relax and have fun. Neymar is the only professional athlete with a home that has a private helipad and a dock big enough for his $8 million yacht. That's insane. I need a moment to process that. Well, I thought having such an incredible mansion couldn't get any better. But then came Messi. Lionel Messi takes things to a whole new level. He grew up in a modest home. People called him La Pulga, which means the flea. He got this nickname because he suffered from growth problems as a child. His parents couldn't afford the expensive treatments. When he was 13, his family moved to Barcelona to escape the economic crisis in Argentina and give Messi a better future. He definitely made the most of that opportunity. The Argentinian didn't just buy the rarest house in Barcelona, he practically bought his entire neighborhood. Yes, you heard that right, an entire neighborhood. But why? In 2020, Messi earned more money than LeBron James, Stephen Curry, and Tiger Woods. No surprise that he spends a lot. He not only buys more cars than I own shoes, he also got himself a $9 million mansion. His house is so special that the president even banned flights over it so Messi doesn't have to hear airplane noise. Now, we're giving you an exclusive look inside the GOAT's home, but don't forget to subscribe. Just click the button now. Let's continue. Messi has an entire floor dedicated to fitness, with treadmills, gym equipment, weights, and a wall with pictures of Muhammad Ali. No wonder he's won the Ballon d'Or 8 times. Every morning he wakes up and is reminded that he has to become a legend. But how many footballers can say they have a whole floor in their house just for playing basketball? Maybe one day he'll surprise us and become the third Splash Brother. Who knows? Outside, things get even crazier. If Messi didn't have to train so hard to stay the best in the world, he could spend hours in his pool, which has an incredible view of the mountains and the sea. He even has a full-size football pitch in his backyard. That's where he trains every day, though his dog sometimes interrupts him. As much as Messi loves his work, he also makes sure his family enjoys their home. That's why he built a private playground for his kids. But there was one thing that really bothered him: his neighbors. In 2013, his neighbors rented out their house to students who took full advantage of the opportunity by throwing wild parties. One night, after a heartbreaking defeat, Messi just wanted to sleep, but the only thing he could focus on was the loud pool party next door. That's when he had enough. He grabbed his phone, checked his bank account, saw $600 million and thought, with this much money, I shouldn't have to deal with this. So, he let them have one last night of fun. The next morning, he bought every single house in the neighborhood. He spent over $20 million just for peace and quiet. That has to be the craziest thing ever, right? Sorry to disappoint you, but it gets even wilder. Everything you've heard is nothing compared to Cristiano Ronaldo. The Portuguese superstar also had a tough childhood, growing up in poverty in this run-down house. But everything has changed now. Ronaldo has taken his lifestyle to a whole new level. While other athletes spend their money on luxury cars or expensive watches, Ronaldo is playing in a completely different league. He is the only professional athlete with a house on an island that pretty much belongs to him now. Ronaldo was born on Madeira, and the people there are so proud of him that they named the airport after him. Honestly, they'd probably name the whole island after him if they could. But Ronaldo hasn't just spent over $50 million on real estate, he invested another $50 million to live on his island. Of course, he had to show off his new lifestyle to his 280 million Instagram followers. How could anyone resist flexing that kind of luxury? I know what you're thinking. Okay, he lives on an island, but what does his mansion look like? Let's start with the highlight, his rooftop pool. From there, he has a breathtaking view of the Atlantic Ocean. His villa is the perfect escape whenever he needs a break from his homes in Italy and Portugal. But hey, $50 million on houses might sound like a lot, but what he did for his family? That's priceless. When he was a kid, his family was struggling financially. They kept moving from place to place. They were hungry, and they even had to share beds. One day, Cristiano woke up and thought, enough! He was tired of seeing his parents suffer every day, so he made a promise to become the best football player and make sure his family never went hungry again. But then, something tragic happened. When Ronaldo was 15 years old, he had to be rushed to hospital. The doctors found out that his heart was beating faster than normal. They had to make a decision. If they didn't do a successful surgery, not only would Ronaldo's career be over, but his life could be too, and his family would never escape poverty. So the doctors got to work. The surgery was a success. Even though Cristiano was in a situation he never expected, he was back to 100% after a few weeks. But one thing was still in his mind, his promise. He had promised his family that he would make it, and he didn't disappoint them. He knew he could die at any moment. He also knew that it wasn't luck that he kept waking up every morning and playing the sport he loved. From that moment on, he gave everything. He trained day and night for his family. With every passing year, he fulfilled his promise more and more. Ronaldo became one of the greatest football players in history, but more important than that, he shared his success with the family who supported him. Of course, We see Ronaldo in his $10 million mansion driving his Bugatti. But first he made sure his mother, sisters and brother were taken care of. He bought them a house before buying one for himself. That is worth more than any mansion money can buy. But how did these footballers become so successful? What is their secret? We took a closer look and discovered rituals that will amaze you, from secret fitness routines to biohacking and magic potions. Click the video now to learn everything. See you soon!